And I just remembered to start recording. So this webinar will be recorded and available later on our YouTube channel for home base. And I'm putting that slide deck again. A few things about Microsoft Teams if you are new. When you hover over the center of Microsoft Teams, you should see some icons. Everyone has the ability to self-mute. So we do ask that you stay muted in case there's any unexpected background noise, unless you have a question. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to unmute and jump in at any point. As Rob said, this meeting is really about you and what your thoughts and what want to knows about Go Open and See are. So I do have just a few slides today, but mostly it's going to be based on your discussion and what you would like to see and learn more about. You'll notice that in the top right corner of every slide pretty much is this HBMU Padlet. So we will have a Padlet activity coming up where you'll be sharing your thoughts and discussion points about Go Open and See. So you can click on that Padlet link at any point in time. And I think that's it about Microsoft Teams. So the first thing we want to do is we want to stop for a second and make sure we all sign in, since we did not have a registration for this meetup. So we want to make sure we capture everyone who's here today. So if you could make sure you go to that bit.ly that I just put in the chat or is on the screen. And we can also go through, since we got a smaller group, and let's go through and do some introductions of who's here. So Cammie, would you mind starting? Just a quick introduction.
Sure. Hi, I am Cammie Nairn. I work with Pam Batchelor on the home base team. I manage the teacher evaluation NISA system and learning.com. Good to be here.
Thank you, Cammie. And next on the list is Jill. Jill, can you introduce?
Good morning, everyone. This is Jill Dara with Digital Teaching and Learning. I'm the lead consultant and delighted to be here with you all today.
Thank you, Jill. Next I have on the list is John. John Mars, can you say hello?
Good morning, everyone. John Mars. I'm on the professional learning team with Digital Teaching and Learning and Home Base. Very happy you could all join us this morning.
Thank you, John. And next I have Julie.
Good morning. This is Julie Gerganis. I'm the Northeast Regional Consultant with Digital Teaching and Learning, and it's great to be with y'all this morning.
And next I have Kathy.
Hey everybody, I'm Kathy Parker. I'm the Sand Hills Regional Consultant, and I also support school library media for the state.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And next I see Marilyn Kennedy. Marilyn, can you unmute and introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning. I'm Marilyn Kennedy from Duplin County Schools. I'm the Digital Learning and Technology Support Specialist, and we are just glad to be with you today.
Great. Thank you, Marilyn. And next I have a Mary. Mary, can you unmute and introduce yourself or type in the chat?
Hi, I'm Mary Doggett. I'm the lead math and science teacher and in the testing department in Rockingham County Schools.
Hey, Mary. It's great to see you again, and glad you could join us. Next, it looks like Nathan.
Good morning, this is Nathan Craver. I'm the Piedmont Triad Digital Teaching and Learning Consultant, and then I also support statewide data assessment and continuous improvement. Happy to be here. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you. And next we have Tessa.
Hey, I'm Tessa Hine. I work alongside John as a professional learning specialist on the home base professional team, supporting the home base products.
Yes. we couldn't do anything we do without John and Tessa. Thank you guys so much for joining. And last but not least, Yolanda.
Good morning. I'm Yolanda Wilson. I'm part of the home base team and I manage communications for home base.
Yes, Yolanda does a great job of making sure all of our communications go out, and she edits my grammar all the time and helps me make sure I'm saying things clearly. So I appreciate you for doing that.
Thanks, Pam.
All right. So I think that's everyone. Is there anybody calling in or anyone else that we didn't get to that maybe Teams is not letting me see?
No, ma'am. I believe you hit them all.
Well, so Lindsay, are you up here? I just saw Lindsay.
Hey there. Yes, just popped in. I am Lindsay Skidmore, Digital Learning and Technology Support Specialist for Duplin County.
Yes. So glad to have you and Marilyn with us. It might help if you're talking if you unmute yourself. So hopefully everyone completed that bit.ly to sign in, and then I'm going to put the slide deck link back in the chat in case anyone hasn't opened up our slide deck for today. And so this is just a look at our home-based meetups. It's today's Friday, yay! This is our last home-based meetup. All of them have been recorded, and they will be sent out in a communication either later today or on Monday, so that we'll have links to the recordings for all the sessions in case you were unable to join one that you wanted to watch. This is just a calendar of all of our home-based meetups, so you will note that we will be virtual until further notice due to the pandemic. So we do have our dates set up. We'll be back in September, November, February, and April. And so, you know, we're hoping that things improve and maybe we can get reconsidered for travel as the year goes on. But we are excited to still have that opportunity to connect with you however we can, even if it's virtually. All right, so just a few updates that I have about Go Open and See, things that we're working on and excited about, and then we'll jump into things that you want to talk about. So first of all, just a stat for how many users we have currently in the platform. So currently we have about 22,405 users, and this was accurate as of about a week ago. So I haven't pulled numbers for this week, but we have about 22,000 users to start the year off with, and we're hoping that goal is to get up to at least 30,000 by the end of the year, maybe even more than that, I hope. We continue to have professional development available, and that's going to come up here in a minute to help drive that adoption of open education resources across North Carolina. We also had some professional development this summer, and coming soon as a result of that professional learning, we're going to have 2 new hubs on Go Open and See. So remember, a hub on Go Open and See combines both content in collections as well as groups. So not only do you have a collection of resources around a certain topic, but you have a group focused on that topic of folks that you can interact with to further collaborate and discuss the topic. So we're excited to have culturally relevant teaching, and there will be additional professional learning opportunities around culturally relevant teaching related to Go Open and See in the fall. That's been a very popular and timely topic. So we're excited to, we're actually working with James Board, who's one of our State Board of Education members. He's going to be helping guide our cohorts for the fall with some of his colleagues. To really look at the issues surrounding culturally relevant teaching and how we can look at lesson plans and materials that we already have for cultural bias, and also addressing those principles of CRT in those lessons to modify them. And then the other hub that we're still developing is our digital learning standards for students. So we're excited that the DLS, for students is starting to be implemented this year. And so we're excited to support that work with the hub. We've had a lot of school library media folks, as well as other teachers that are interested in it, participate in the hub back in May. And they developed, there's about 290 resources on the platform that they have aligned and tagged digital learning standards. So we're excited about that work and having that put out there for students. So these will be ready to go before the August 17th start date for students. We just are putting the final touches on them right now. So speaking of back to school, we do have some new resources available for you. We have a couple of videos, short 30-minute videos. One is about what is Go Open, and the second one's about contributing to Go Open and how you can share resources. And so those are part of our back to school series that also includes Canvas and SchoolNet. And so teachers, if they watch at least 2 of these videos, they have a form they can fill out to request CU credit and a digital badge. So we're excited about that. We've had about 8 people get the badge so far since I introduced this last week, and they're excited. So hopefully the word will continue to grow about these videos, and you are welcome to use them in any way. They're on our YouTube channel, so you could put them in a Canvas course if you're designing some PD for Canvas. You're welcome to use any of these videos for any of the products. And then, of course, coming up for the fall, we will be having monthly webinars for Go Open NC. So I usually do webinars for SchoolNet and Canvas last year, but we're going to add Go Open NC this year. So we're excited about that. So if you want to send out these links, we are using WebEx, which is a new webinar platform for us. And it does require an event password. So that's kind of a little different change when you register for the webinars. You will have to put in a password, and that is Go Open NC for these webinars. I also put a link up here to the Go Open NC YouTube playlist. So that way, if you want to see the specific videos that we have on our playlist for Go Open NC, you're welcome to do that. So I'd love to know, or just your opening thoughts about what do you need to be successful with Go Open NC? So if you want to type in the chat, if you want to unmute, give everyone just a minute to kind of think on that, and then I'd love to have a discussion. All right, who wants to break the ice on Friday morning?
Can I say that we rolled it out, you know, in January, and then we went to remote learning. And I think the thing that would make us more successful is any support in helping our teachers using this with remote learning, because I think, at least in our area, lots of our schools, lots of our districts will be doing remote learning again at the beginning of the year. And I think our teachers are looking for the best and easiest resources to use in remote learning. And I think that that's where they need the support.
Okay. So on our YouTube channel, we actually did a series of remote learning webinars around Go Open NC. So there are recordings of those webinars that specifically, like I show how you could take this resource, and if it's student facing, put it in Google Classroom and have it be there for them to use, because there is that easy, there's a share button for Google Classroom on every resource. And then in Canvas, we have an LTI integration where they could take any resource that's in Go Open and See and share it to their Canvas courses. So I think those little tips, are very timely with, talking about remote learning and what it may look like. So Lindsay shared in the chat that our biggest challenge is getting teachers to utilize the resource. They tend to still go to Google first. Yeah.
So any tips on that? I mean, I feel like they have such a great resource, but they still just default to Google, or teachers pay teachers. We're seeing a lot of that, and just trying to figure out how to get them to go to the resources that they have.
Yeah. I think, it's just going to be word of mouth. And also, hopefully as we get more folks sharing to the platform, then I think once you share something to the platform, you kind of become more invested in it. So we do have more resources that are coming to the platform. So we've already grown our teacher uploaded resources count is almost over 4,000 right now. So it was, just to give you context, in the middle of spring, it was right at 2,000. So we've had over 2,000 new teacher uploaded resources this summer. So that's a good thing to kind of, promote that new things are being added in addition to what we're working on DPI to bring over to Go Open and See. Any other thoughts?
And I just want to say I appreciate the idea of the webinars monthly. It's a great help for me to be able to direct them to those webinars to get the PD that they need. So we really appreciate that here in Duplin.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about them. I'm hoping that's going to continue to kind of drive folks to the platform, because really, I do check the user count and how many users we have on the platform, but to me, the more important number is how many resources teachers have added to the platform, because I think that's what's going to drive everyone using it, is once they see that they can upload something and then other folks can use it, remix it, make it better into the platform, and then they start to see that sharing going on. Because, teachers pay teachers is great, but it's a lot of times not specific to North Carolina standards, and also it's not free, right? We're not encouraging that kind of open thinking and remixing of our work. And especially with remote learning, we need to be careful about teachers by teachers resources and what the copyright licensing is on them, and how we're using them in remote learning. Are we following that guidance? All right, so I'd love to jump over to our Padlet that we have for today, and just hear any questions, ideas, things that you would like to learn more about. So I'm going to take the link here and put it in our chat. So if you'd like to take a minute to put any topics, ideas, questions, and I welcome our GTL staff too that's with us too to participate in the Padlet. Put anything down that you would like to see as well that could help you in your role. All right, so the first thing I see on the Padlet is hubs, and I see that I think seconded. So we're just going to go to the platform and jump in there. So I'm going to go open see.oer Commons. And go ahead and sign in. Great. So now if we go under our hubs menu in the top corner there, and I'm just going to go click on see all hubs so you can see all of them. Right, so these are the hubs that we have so far that are published, right? And you can see that we do have one district that has published their hub. We do have a couple others that have hubs in development, such as Moore County. They're working on a design thinking hub that's going to be really awesome. So Lindsay, I saw your question about how other districts are using them. So I'll go ahead and show Johnston County's hub. So they're using their hubs to create kind of these shared folders of resources. And you can see in some of them there's more resources than others. They had some teachers that really kind of bought into the idea and started creating these folders, and then some that, you know, they're still working towards. But they did tell me, I talked to them recently, that they are hoping to expand this fall when their teachers come back in a few days for remote learning to help highlight resources that are suitable for remote learning. Because that's the thing about Go Open is we have, when you look at OER, we have everything from curriculum units and instructional plans to individual videos and presentations. So not everything is going to be that student facing, I'm going to click that share to classroom button and shoot it off to Google Classroom. So what they were going to do is create, they said in each one of their folders, a subfolder for remote learning resources that would be appropriate for students to instantly access. So this is one example, and they've created these folders. So we'll go into their third grade. And so they have science for third grade. And so what they've done is they've just kind of curated a list. Yep. So a hub has both groups and content. So in a group just is a collection of people that can curate materials together. But a hub also has collections. So in this particular one for Johnston County, you can see theirs is really groups, and then you can see their members. But another hub I'll show you is our Tools for NC Teachers, which is a lot of good elementary math resources, right? And so you can see that they have collections, as well as there's a group to discuss. So there's both pieces, right, where there's these collections of resources and a group of people to discuss or interact with, right? So Tools for NC Teachers. You don't have to have both. You know, the remote learning, we have a remote learning hub as well. And you can see here are content groups, and this could be a good thing for Mary if she's still on the call. When talking about the remote learning, we already have groups set up for each grade level and area. And then we also have some content here to help set up those remote learning. So hopefully that helps identify the differences. And anybody can set up a group, and then you can later on decide if you want a hub. So I think maybe the best thing would be, if you're on the fence about it, to set up a group, because anybody can create a group. And then later on, if you decide you want to make a full-fledged hub, I can help you move that over into a hub. With hubs, I have to start the process of creating them, and then I can give you edit rights to the hub to further develop it. So another question, are specials like arts, library, music actively creative contributing to hubs? So we do have some. So we have under that list of hubs there, you saw we have a school library media hub, and we do have a collection of resources as well as groups that are actively connecting, right? So we have a connection group here, which is an open group for any school library media people to connect. And then we also have, this collection that they put together with some flex books. So good question. We hope to see more. I did have I had a chance to talk to our arts ed folks about Canvas, and I'm hoping to also have a session with them about Go Open and See, because I do think that's another area where they can connect. If I do look at groups, if we go to see all groups, we can see that there's lots of groups for arts. So if I go into our subject areas, we can go into arts education. You can see the different, there's North Carolina arts educators, and then there's also some schools that have went ahead and created groups for arts ed, but there's also a teaching theater group. Yeah, and it's a great way for them to connect, especially, if you're a dance ed teacher. Not every school has dance, usually only one or two per district. So it's a great way for them to connect. So, there's several different arts groups that they can come out here and join.
And when you're in the group, if somebody shares to that resource, those are the emails that we were getting, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So everybody gets an email that a new resource has been added, or I'm sure you can set that.
Yes, and you can change your notification settings if you go under your account settings, under your profile, and there's your notification preferences. So that way you can click. I actually have it set to where it says do not send email notifications, just because I'm a member of pretty much every group on the platform. So I was getting swamped with lots of emails.
I looked at that and I was gonna uncheck it, but I also like the discussions. Would the discussion email notifications still come through? I didn't want to miss.
They do. They still do. So like if you post to a discussion board and someone replies to you, you still get that regardless.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good point. So getting the word out. And so one thing is I wonder is I know some districts and things have like a repository of links or like a teacher link page. And I'm wondering if you could put Go Open and See on there. Like I'm wondering if that would help get the word out if you put a link to the page on there. Thoughts?
Yes, I think so. I think that would be helpful to add it there.
Because I know a lot of times, we kind of get trained in our routine, right? So if I know that this is where I go every day to check in and check my email for work and do this, and then I see that link there, it might help trigger, oh, hey, let me go click on this resource.
Yeah, that's and same thing with NCYs. I think that's one of the biggest challenges with digital resources. Often is they're not seen. So you're right. If we can create more visibility, that may help.
And I mean, it is single sign-on, so teachers should see the Go Open and See icon every time they log in. But I also know that sometimes you get kind of tunnel vision, and okay, I need to go do my attendance in PowerSchool. I'm just going to click on the PowerSchool icon before I even look at everything else that loads. So definitely hoping that the webinars, monthly webinars this fall, help kind of spread the word. Another thing that we have planning is just a general survey that we would like to send to our users of the microsite. So those 22,000 registered folks, to get their thoughts and ideas about the platform and what improvements they would like to see, because we do have, a relationship with our partner organization, ISKME, and we do want to, continuously improve and provide feedback on what teachers are saying about the platform could be better. So if you happen to know of anything or you hear of anything, please let me know, and I'll be sure to take that up to our partner. I will point out too that we have new videos on the homepage. So when you scroll down a little bit past the search, we keep some like little 3 to 5 minute videos here. And so the one on searching by standards and collaboration are brand new for this fall. So those are little short 5-minute videos that are nice just to kind of intro platforms. So we have one specifically on searching by standards and how you can use advanced search. So if I go up here, you see that there's a general search, but with advanced search, there's so many more things that can really narrow down. I can look by license level, right? So my Creative Commons license, maybe I just want things I can remix. And then I can go down and choose a subject area. Maybe I'm just looking for math. And maybe I'm just looking for a lesson plan. Doing that advanced search, I've got 1,200 results here of lesson plans that I can remix, but now maybe I want to add my standard. And so let's look for 6th grade. Let's see if there's anything for geometry, right? So now I've got a really filtered search where I'm just looking at 6th grade lesson plans for their line of North Carolina math standards for geometry that I can remix, right? So remix means that there's that remix button there to copy and add to the lesson plan, right? So I can look at that resource and in this lesson, students describe 3-dimensional figures, and it's from Engage New York. If I click on that view resource, and so something that we have to understand too is it says grade 7, but it's actually aligned to North Carolina math grade 6, right? And sometimes teachers see that and they're like, well, and that's because with open educational resources, we're looking at resources that, a lot of times are national level. So when we moved away from Common Core in North Carolina, we changed a few things. There were a few standards that went from 7th grade to 6th grade, some that went, from 8th to 7th and so forth. And so this particular standard, I believe, was one of the ones that moved down. So just, making sure teachers are kind of aware of that, because I think it kind of creates a little bit of a difference when they go, if they would click on it and see, oh, this is 7th grade, when it's really aligned to the 6th grade standard, because that's where we teach it in North Carolina. But any other questions or things thoughts you'd like to see? Looking refresh my Padlet here.
I really think it's just going to be a matter of getting them on and getting them active. And the more they are able to get active, the better it, the better the participation will be. It'll go from there.
We just have to get to that tipping point, and I hope we're getting closer and closer to it.
And I know, just to be transparent, I think we kind of were hesitant to start right off the bat. We wanted our teachers to be excited about it when they saw it. But I can tell that it's grown a lot since I first saw it. So I think this year will be our year that we'll really try to share and push this out, because I think there's a lot of value in that, the resource. So I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see what we can make happen.
Awesome. And I saw we had a couple other people join. So I'm going to put Jan and Angela on the line. If you guys want to unmute and introduce yourself and ask any questions, or you can also type in the chat as well.
Yes, I'm Jan Houston from Duplin County Schools. I'm a new digital learning technology support specialist. And I look forward to digging more into Go Open. I haven't had a lot of experience with it, but this is interesting information, so thank you.
No problem, Jan. Glad to have. So we have the whole Duplin County team in the house, pretty much.
We do. I'm excited, Pam. I've got 2 new ones with me, so I'm excited to have some help.
Yay! And I know Angela, I believe she's with one of our charter schools, Piedmont Classical Charter, if I'm remembering correctly. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I said that correctly. All right. Well, if you have any other questions, I'll give you a minute to think about anything else that you might want to discuss, but just know that this time is yours. And, I'm not going to sit here. I know we're all very busy, so there's not any other burning questions. You do have my contact information on the last slide deck. And then we also have our webinars for the fall. Please, share out these links. I'm also going to be creating like a little printout, printable PDF like I did last year for SchoolNet and Canvas. And I'm going to try to make one printable that has all 3 with all the links and everything, so that way you can just share that one document that has everything on it. Any other requests or things that I could help to assist you with? Because I know this is, a crazy year for all of us to start with remote learning, and I'm happy to do anything I can to take a little bit of time off of your plate. Okay, well, that's about as much wait time as I have. thank you all for coming, and I'm excited that Duplin County is excited about Go Open NC. And please let me know if there's anything that comes up. I'm more than happy to reach out via email and assist in anything. I also know I'm going to be planning a BT presentation for Granville County, so I'd be happy to, on Go Open NC, I'm happy to share those materials or to do a virtual session with any group of teachers or instructional coaches that you think would be helpful for the year. Feel free to reach out. We can set that up.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you all. Have a wonderful Friday.
You too. Take care.
All right.